too. All right. Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to be here this morning to provide an update on what's been a very successful Operation Desert Guardian. In February, I launched Operation Desert Guardian by executive order with a clear vision, and that was to bring together local, county, state, and federal law enforcement from every corner of the state to tackle transnational crime, dismantle cartel supply chains, and stop drug smuggling and human trafficking. I'm proud to share that thanks to the tireless efforts of the dedicated men and women here today and so many others, we have transformed that vision into reality. Operation Desert Guardian is designed to strengthen border security and disrupt transnational criminal organizations operating in our state. This operation, statewide, intelligence-driven, multi-jurisdictional, is the first of its kind here in Arizona. It is a collaboration and partnership with county sheriffs and law enforcement across the state, represented here today: Cochise County, Navajo County, La Paz County, and Greenlee County. In just 6 months, we have seized 72,250 fentanyl pills, over 400 pounds of methamphetamine, made over 600 arrests, and apprehended 10 fugitives. In total, our joint efforts through Operation Desert Guardian have gotten 971 pounds of drugs off of our streets. The operation is also working closely with Task Force SAFE, our National Guard deployment at the border, to coordinate intelligence and logistics. Combined, since March 1st, these efforts have seized drugs with a street value of over $77 million, taken 988 illegal weapons off our streets, and sent a clear message to the cartels: don't come here. If you do, we will find you, arrest you, and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. And our partnerships are at every level are making this possible. Just last month, local law enforcement, including the sheriffs standing here with me today, partnered with state agencies to conduct one of Desert Guardian's most sophisticated synchronized statewide operations to date. The synchronized actions utilize county, state, and federal intelligence to go after cartel operations with coordinated detention sweeps at county jails and state prisons, drug busts in neighborhoods, and targeted interdiction operations to disrupt trafficking on our streets, with sheriffs, ADCRR, the Department of Public Safety, the National Guard, and Customs and Border Protection involvement. When state agencies work hand in hand with our sheriffs and federal law enforcement, these operations become possible. They're actions that leverage law enforcement resources at every level, in every corner of the state, to get drugs off our streets and take down the cartels seeking to do us harm. From this border to Phoenix to Page and everywhere in between across Arizona, we are taking action to secure the border and stop crime in our communities. None of this would be possible without the support of our DPS troopers, sheriffs, and local law enforcement. And I am so thankful to all of them for their cooperation, commitment, and dedication. Thanks especially to the sheriffs here today for their leadership: Sheriff Daniels, Sheriff Klaus, Sheriff Ponce, and Chief Deputy Milton Brett Jensen here representing Greenlee County Sheriff Ellison. And to the sheriffs who couldn't make it but have stood strong with us in our fight against the cartels. Thanks also to Arizona Homeland Security Director Kim O'Connor, who you'll hear from shortly. Everything we're doing here is about keeping families and communities safe, because living the Arizona promise means having the freedom to go about your daily life without the fear of crime. It means being able to sleep at night knowing that your kids are safe from dangerous drugs. And it means knowing that your neighbors have your back and you have theirs. That is what Operation Desert Guardian is all about: supporting communities and strengthening public safety. This is a prime example of how we can use collaboration to bolster public safety and stop crime coming through the border, keeping families and communities safe and free to live the Arizona promise. With that, I am happy to turn it over to Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to Cochise County and to my fellow sheriffs and law enforcement and public safety partners. And special thank you to Governor Hobbs for her efforts and leadership to help us coordinate this effort. You know, over the last several years, we've endured a lot of drugs, fentanyl coming, surge in this state, surge in our communities and beyond. We have stood up against that thanks to the partnerships we have with everybody standing behind me and beyond that are not here. Colonel Glover from DPS and all the police chiefs in the state, Chief Heiser, who couldn't be with us this morning, everybody that's been there to make a difference, because this is all about quality of life. This is all about public safety and investing within our communities and our state as a whole. I will say this, when we work together, we're all better off, and we can't do it alone. These are partnerships with our citizens throughout the state of Arizona. Set politics aside for a few minutes, because many people can't. But we did that. We did that for the right reasons, and that is to make sure our kiddos, our future, our families, and those that live and breathe in our state that call this home can say it's a safe place and a great place to call home. Our prosecutors in the state, throughout local and state, have stood along us. Lori Zuko is going to speak in a minute, our county attorney. They have done an amazing job to ensure the criminal justice system is working here in Arizona. What we've done in this state, I think, is amazing. You look at some states where they're fighting crime day in and day out. We are sustaining crime, and the fact that if you do crime here, there is a consequence for doing it. I am very proud to call Arizona my home. I'm very proud to serve after 4 decades in Arizona, which is a true state which believes in the rule of law. So thank you, Governor. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And this time, under Desert Guardian, my commander, Robert Watkins, was assigned this. We started this off months back, and when working with the state, I said, let me sign my commander up there so we had a firsthand look at how this was being run, but also help lead this throughout the state. And I credit Commander Watkins for that. I'd like to welcome him to the podium. Bob?
Thank you, Sheriff. Madam Governor, thank you. Sheriff Daniels, thank you. Over 50% of all fentanyl seized in the entire United States is routinely seized within Arizona. Arizona is, by and large, no doubt, the fentanyl and human trafficking capital of the entire country. 7 Arizonans die every day from an opioid overdose. To that end, back in March, I was assigned to participate in Operation Desert Guardian, and this is the first time that I, in 23 years of law enforcement, have seen a state agency partner with federal and local partners to bring resources and personnel to local agencies' doorsteps so that they can fight fentanyl and human traffickers within their communities as they see fit. This operation would not have happened without the leadership of Dr. Kim O'Connor and Director Gabe Levine. They're our closest strategic partners, and we could not do this without them. Thank you, Director O'Connor and Director Levine. With that, as a parent and as a citizen of Arizona, thank you, Governor Hobbs. With that, I'd like to introduce one of our closest partners. He's the president of the Arizona Sheriff's Association and the current sheriff of Navajo County, Sheriff Klaus.
Good morning. I'm David Klaus. I have the privilege currently to serve as the the president of the Arizona Sheriff's Association. Also with us is our vice president, Sheriff Potts from La Paz County. Many people may wonder, we look at Operation Desert Guardian with these focus on these border related type crimes. What does that have to do with these outlying counties? And nothing brings public safety closer together than with a common purpose or a goal. One of the biggest things that I've ever seen working not only within my county, but listening to our fellow sheriffs, this is the #1 public safety issue that has been on the minds of the public and many of our community members over the last few years is these issues and these border related type crimes. And this operation not only brought sheriffs together, but it brought all public safety, state, federal, and local. And we couldn't have got this done, one, without the leadership guides from our state agencies, the governor, and more importantly, the support from the men and women that are doing the operations daily. There's weekly briefs, weekly reporting. So I want to give a little recognition to to the actual boots on the ground that are putting it together and taking on not only their daily responsibilities, but working these overtime tasks or overtime operations. So with that, the sheriffs across the state, we're obviously very united when it comes to anything public safety related, anything to make our state safer. And we feel over the past few months, as we've worked on not only this operation, but many others, we've come together with all our partners and we've made the state of Arizona a much safer place. And we look forward to continuing to do those type of operations and getting behind any type of task forces or guidance that we get from any of our state, local, or federal officials that says, hey, we need to join together and get these operations going. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to General John Conley from Arizona DEMA and share a few words.
Thanks, Sheriff. Appreciate it. Good morning. I'm John Conley. I'm the Director of DEMA and the Adjutant General of Arizona. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank the governor for her continued leadership and support of the Arizona National Guard and DEMA. Just a few short weeks ago, we had the opportunity to go down to the Nogales ports of entry and visit some of our soldiers and airmen down there. And you could not believe how excited they were to meet with the governor and how proud they were to discuss with her all of the great work they're doing to support the interdiction efforts down at those ports of entry. And we couldn't do this alone. We have to be part of a team, and we're part of a great team, a great interagency team. And as just mentioned, one of the folks that's just been instrumental in developing that agency team and interagency team is Gabe Levine, our Director of Emergency Management for DEMA. So I want to introduce Gabe.
Well, good morning. The Division of Emergency Management is very proud to support the governor and the entire state in this endeavor in addressing the threats posed by transnational crime. Emergency management supports whenever there's disruption. We do information and we do resources. Operation Desert Guardian strives to disrupt the disruptors. And we're targeting not just the drugs but the broad spectrum of illicit markets and activities of transnational criminal organizations plaguing the state. This operation brings together agencies and stakeholders from all levels of government, local, state, federal, tribal, to disrupt the business operations of those illicit organizations and send a very clear message to stay out of Arizona. Our division continues to support law enforcement efforts by providing critical resources, coordinating information, and making sure that our partners on the ground have the tools they need to be effective in supporting the state. We're stronger together, and when we share information across agencies and across partners to prevent, interdict, and disrupt the operations of transnational criminal organizations, we have an outsized impact that is greater than any one agency alone. One example of this collaboration is the Arizona National Guard State Active Duty Mission at our local ports of entry, supporting our federal partners in interdicting illicit materials coming through the international ports. What is more commonly known as Task Force SAFE continues to enable our federal partners at the ports of entry to seize more drugs, more guns, and more cash that is trying to make its way into Arizona than they could on their own. The Operation Desert Guardian team is going to continue to build on the successes that we've had, strengthen our partnerships, bring more task forces, more agencies, and more partners to the table to continue to grow that impact and support our state. Our communities will be safer, stronger, and better prepared for whatever comes next. I'd like to turn it over to Director Kim O'Connor for some additional remarks.
Thank you, Director Levine. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. As mentioned, my name is Kim O'Connor. I'm the Director of the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. The Arizona Department of Homeland Security is proud to stand with Governor Hobbs and our partnering agencies in a unified commitment to a safer Arizona. Operation Desert Guardian is Arizona's response to address illicit drugs and transnational crime. As you have heard, it is a coordinated effort to close security gaps, dismantle cartel supply chains, and make communities safer. Together, we are breaking down interagency barriers and operating under a unified vision and strategy to enhance border security and disrupt transnational criminal organizations within our state. The criminal drug operations are extensive. To dismantle them, we must work together with a unified approach to take advantage of our collective resources. Operation Desert Guardian builds on the successes of Task Force SAFE and expands enforcement beyond the border communities to truly present a whole-of-state approach. Success includes strong public safety partnerships, fewer criminal operations, and more coordinated arrests. As part of our effort, the Governor's Office for Youth, Faith, and Families, as well as the Arizona Department of Health Services, are aligning prevention and education programs along with Operation Desert Guardian. This ensures that our law enforcement efforts are matched with strong community prevention. A digital public messaging campaign is on the horizon to both expand the outreach and disrupt our criminal recruiters. This is a results-driven operation with the goal of improving lives of Arizonans. During this operation, we will continue to learn and refine our strategies. We will expand county and agency participation, scale up interdiction efforts in both the northern and rural corridors, and continue to deepen our partnerships. While it is a long fight, it is one that we can certainly do together. Operation Desert Guardian is about saving lives, protecting our communities, and building a safer Arizona. Thank you, and thank you to all of our partnering agencies, and thank you to Governor Hobbs. I'm pleased now to introduce Cochise County Attorney Lori Zucco.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Governor Hobbs for coming down today, and our sheriffs from across the state and the folks from DEMA. We appreciate your support just in coming here and speaking to us. And over the last several years in Cochise County, I like to say that our community turned into a video game, something out of Grand Theft Auto, with the failures to yield and the human smuggling that we witnessed every day. During the height of 2023, when our office aggressively prosecuted failure to yield and human smuggling cases, we prosecuted 406 cases that year just in those two categories. This was a huge influx of volume into our office. That was an average of 33 cases a month just in these border crime cases. We would not have been able to do that without the assistance we received from DEMA. I'm happy to report that so far this year, we have only prosecuted and had referrals for 31 failure to yield and human smuggling cases. That is a drastic decline. But our work is not over. We are still prosecuting the reverberations of the last few years with major criminal syndicate prosecutions under investigation with our law enforcement partners for transnational drugs, human smuggling, as well as auto thefts from Phoenix auto rental companies. So with that, I want to thank the governor for the support that we've received and for coming down here to show that she believes in partnership with local law enforcement. And thank you. I'll turn it back over to the governor.
Wow, you guys are easy. Thank you. Or we just covered it all. We did such a great job. Thank you. Oh. I don't know.
Did you have a question, sir? Oh, afterwards. Okay, good. Made it easy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.